Hello, this is Professor Nassar, and I'm going to now talk a little bit about the histology of the lung. Here we have a lung slide that I pulled up from your tray, and the first thing we want you to appreciate is that all of this is lung tissue. This is the outside of the lung, and this thin membrane, one cell layer thick, is your visceral pleura. Remember, this is part of the serous membrane that surrounds the lung. Parietal pleura, pleural cavity, and visceral pleura. The visceral pleura is right on the surface of the lung. This space out here would be the pleural cavity, and the parietal pleura would be lining the inside of your rib cage. Here's the outside of the rib cage. Here's the inside of your thoracic wall. The parietal pleura lies the inside of your ribs. This is your visceral pleura. The next thing we want you to appreciate is to find a bronchus, a large vessel tube that conducts air. Again, a bronchus is surrounded by plates of hyaline cartilage, and we can see one here. There are some lumens, like this one here, but this has blood in it, so this is a blood vessel. Don't confuse that with what we're looking for. This is a bronchus. You can see the very large airway here, the very large lumen that would be through which air would be passing. And in this case, what we have to do is remember what hyaline cartilage looks like. That's what this structure is that we see all around here and more of it here. It's not continuous, it comes in as plates. But let's zoom in on that quick or briefly so we can get a better view of what that looks like. Okay, again, here is the lumen of the lung. Here is the pseudostratified epithelium. We would also like you to try and find some goblet cells in here, and also appreciate that this epithelium is ciliated. It's hard to appreciate that on this slide. I don't really have the time right now to go and find goblet cells, but if something is, an individual cell is tagged here, most likely it's going to be a goblet cell. That's what we want you to be familiar with. This is then connective tissue, and here is your hyaline cartilage. You can see the individual chondrocytes hanging out in their lacuna, and then this would be part of the cartilaginous matrix. Just below that is this structure here. This is a bronchiole, a very small one. It's similar to that in terms of having pseudostratified epithelium surrounding a lumen, but you notice there's no cartilage that surrounds this, so this is basically a smaller version of this. This is a bronchiole, this is a bronchus. Let's see if there are any others that look nice that I can show you. Here's one. What do you think this is? What do you think this is? There's a lumen surrounded by pseudostratified epithelium. Is it a bronchus or bronchiole? This would be a bronchus, because here again we can see plates of cartilage. Even if you see just a little bit of cartilage surrounding part of it, we would still call it, for this class, a bronchiole. Okay, what else do they want you to see? An alveolus and an alveolar sac. So let's go to that. Again, any of these would work. All of these larger lumens that you see here are alveolar sacs. And all of these little semicircles that you see coming off of it, like that, all of those are alveoli. And so, of course, there are thousands of these on this slide, and you can sort of find ones that you like. Here's an alveolar sac, alveolus, 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 and so on. All right, gang, that's it for Unit 2 lab terms. I hope that was helpful. I'm sorry that we missed the lab last week, but hopefully this gets you started on a little bit of it. But again, what I would suggest doing is pull out your lab guide, also pull out your textbook or images that follow along with the model pictures so you can get a better view of what is what. If you have questions or you would like some alternate views or explanations, just let me know and I will try my best. Thanks.